Hey everyone, I hope you're well. This is the story about what if Naruto was Tobirama's grandson and had ice release. Before we start, please subscribe to the channel and like the video as well. So without any further ado, let's start the what if. It has been a rather unique day with this year's Genin graduates. Everyone was excited and hopeful in their future as the next generation of Konoha shinobi. But neither of that was more surprising than the shockingly sudden kiss from a certain Yamanaka heiress to the Senju heir. Naruto's fangirls were more disappointed than most, especially Sakura. The pink-haired girl has been harboring a very long, yet not so secret crush for the blonde Senju. To see Ino kissed him so causally, and openly declaring their relationship in front of everyone, obviously broke the poor girl's heart. She knew that the Yamanaka girl liked Naruto, and therefore she severed the once close bond they shared, and declared her to be her rival. Feeling that she gave up a close friendship for a lost cause, has put her into a very gloomy mood. Sooner than later, several jonins came to the class to pick up their chosen genin teams. When two particular jonins walked in, all the remaining students' attention all turned to them. One was a tall man, with brown eyes, olive skin, short black spiky hair, and a beard. His clothing consisted of the standard Konoha ninja uniform with the sleeves rolled up halfway, flak jacket, regular shinobi sandals and forehead protector. He also wore a sash that had the kanji 4, fire, marked on it around his waist, a pair of black bangles, and bandages wrapped around the arms of his sleeves. The other is a beautiful fair-skinned woman of slender build. She has long black untamed hair reaching her upper back, and very unique eyes that are red in color, with an additional ring in them. She wears makeup consisting of red lipstick and purple eyeshadow. Her regular outfit consists of a red mesh armor blouse with only the right sleeve visible. Overall, this is very broad material which resembles bandages with a pattern on it similar to those of rose thorns. Her hands and upper thighs are also wrapped in bandages, and she wears the Konoha forehead protector and regular shinobi sandals. The female jonin was the first one to spoke up. Team 8. I'll be your jonin instructor, Kurenai Yuhi. Please come with me and we'll get started. Kurenai said with a friendly and welcoming tone. But it eventually turned sour when one of her students suddenly yelled out. Woohoo! We get the hot, sensei! Kiba yelled out with hearts in his eyes and a little drool in his mouth. His Ninken Akamaru wanted to bark in agreement, but even the dog had the common sense to not yell it out loud, in such an embarrassing manner. This caused Kurenai to grow a tick mark on her head for the charming attitude of the Inuzuka boy. Shino shook his in embarrassment for his teammate and friend, while Sakura still looked gloomy to care about the Inuzuka's stupidity. Oh, she's going to destroy him, came the thought from the jonin next to Kurenai, as he chuckled for the dog boy's pending mental demise. But deep down he couldn't disagree, that Kurenai is indeed hot. As Kiba, Shino and Sakura followed Kurenai out of the classroom, the male genin pair waved their goodbyes to their longtime friends with hopes to see them again soon, but Sakura merely gave weak wave to them, while she couldn't stop staring at Naruto and Ino with a sad look. Naruto felt very bad for her, and so did Ino. She never intended to hurt Sakura. Deep down, despite their one-sided rivalry, she still sees her as a close friend. Amiruka-sensei, I think you skipped Team 7. Where's our jonin instructor? Hinata asked. But then, she heard Naruto laugh softly. I suggest you get comfortable, Hinata. Kakashi-san told me he will be the instructor for Team 7. So he'll probably be 2 to 3 hours late. Naruto said with a sad sigh. Really, Naruto-kun? But why? Hinata asked. Who knows? It could be, he was lost in the road of life, or the classic a black cat crosses his path and he has to take the long way around. Either way, I suggest you guys go get some lunch first before Choji's stomach cries out. Naruto suggested, which Choji agrees. Ha ha ha, I like you already, kiddo. And you're not wrong. The bearded jonin said to his blonde student, but then an interesting thought came to his mind. But you forget the part where your Nisen could be busy doing something freaky with Anko. I pity the poor lucky bastard, but at least he'll get some angry frustrated sex with that crazy woman, after that outburst she had with Dad, Asuma thought with a laugh. Anyway, Team 10. You're with me. I'm Asuma Sarutobi and I'll be your Jonin instructor. Asuma informed his new team. Gigi's son. Huh, he does look like a younger version of him. Naruto thought. Naruto, Ino and Shikamaru stood up and followed their new sensei before giving small wave to Choji, Hinata and Sasuke before they left, and wishing them luck. So where are we going, Asuma-sensei? Ino asked. Well, I thought it's best as a team, that we all get know each other. So I'm taking you guys out for lunch. Hope you like barbecue. Asuma said, as he led his team out of the academy and into the village square. Yakiniku Q. The new Team 10 walked to the Smoky Bones barbecue restaurant and sat down in small corner booth. Naruto sat by the window seat, with Ino sitting next to him, while Asuma and Shikamaru sitting opposite them. Asuma ordered them a meal set of beef and chicken. As they began to grill their chosen meat platter, Asuma began to address his new team. Alright guys, I'm aware that you three already know each other, so this will be just for my sake. I want you guys to go around and tell me your names, likes, dislikes, hobbies, and dreams for the future. You know, that old chestnut. Asuma said. Maybe you can start first, sensei. Ino suggested. Sure. My name is Asuma Sarutobi. And yes, I am the son of the third Hokage. I like poker and smoking. I dislike when I'm being lectured about my so-called bad habits. I also dislike when people compare me to my father. It's a real pain in the ass when I was young. I guess my hobbies is playing shogi and hanging out with my friends. And right now, my dream is to make sure you three be the best damn ninjas in Konoha. So I can win a long-term bet I recently made with my fellow Jonin senseis. Asuma said with a smile. Well, I guess he wasn't kidding when he said he likes to gamble. The Genin trio shared the same thought. Your turn, Blondie, Asuma asked. Me? Naruto and Ino both asked, confused as to which one was he referring to. The girly girl in purple, Asuma said, as he pointed at Ino. I'm Ino Yamanaka. I like flowers and working at my family's flower shop, even though it could be a little boring sometimes. I dislike jerks and perverts. Especially that Ebisu guy. Naruto-kun told me he once caught him peeking in the woman's hot springs. Ino said, but Asuma is trying really hard to contain his laughter inside. Really? Holy shit, I am so telling everyone about this. I wonder how Kurenai-chan and Anko would react. Asuma thought with a semi-sinister smirk. My hobbies are gardening and training with Naruto-kun. My dream is to become a strong and capable kunoichi. So I can protect everyone I care about, and help Naruto-kun fulfill his dream. And once it's done, I hope to retire and start a family. Ino said with a smile, but with a huge blush at the last sentence, as she slightly turns her head to see her blonde paramour. Your turn, sleepy pineapple head. Asuma said, as he pointed at Shikamaru. Naruto and Ino couldn't help but laugh at that. Troublesome. Fine. I'm Shikamaru Nara. I like cloud watching, playing shogi, and sleeping. Mostly sleeping. I dislike things that are troublesome. My hobby is sleeping. And I really wish I can sleep right now. My original goal is to have an average career, as an average shinobi, marry an average girl, and have an average family that are not too troublesome. But since Naruto is here, that might not happen anymore. Shikamaru said with a tired sigh. Damn straight, Shika. I will make sure you become above average at least. Naruto said with a smirk as Ino nodded in agreement. Troublesome blonde. Shikamaru said. Since these two have mentioned your name in their intros, I assume you're Naruto. Asuma said as he pointed to his male blonde student. That's right. I'm Naruto Senju. I like training, ramen, and hanging out with my friends. I dislike those who judges a book by its cover, and those who hurt people that are precious to me. My hobbies are training as well, most of the time with Sarutobi Sensei and Kakashi Naisen, and also learning new jutsus. My dream is to restore my clan and be the greatest Hokage. So I can achieve my true goal, which is to bring true peace to the shinobi world. Naruto said with his bright smile. This kid sure aims high. Even I can tell that his true goal is near impossible. But if Dad believes in him, I guess I should just make sure that he's on the right path. But that doesn't mean I don't need some convincing myself. Asuma thought. Did Naruto-kun just said his dream is to restore his clan? And I just said I will help fulfill his dream. Holy crap. So many blonde babies. He'll destroy me. I honestly don't know if I'm terrified or excited. Geez, Ino, pull yourself together. Ino thought with a heavy blush on her face. Alright guys, now that everyone has already introduced themselves, I'm sorry to tell you this, but you're not technically genin yet. Asuma informed them. What do you mean, Asuma-sensei? We passed the exams and everything. How are we not genin yet? Ino asked. Well, for starters, the academy exams are just a way to test if you can perform the basics and fundamentals, and weed out those who cannot. If you can't, then you don't deserve to wear these headbands. The real exam is with me. And if you should fail, this team will be disbanded and you will be sent back to the academy. Asuma said with a cold tone. What? That's Einsan, sensei. Ino yelled out. No. It's not. You're going to become a ninja, and as a ninja you will represent the strength of our village, which many of your senior shinobi, including myself, had to work very hard to establish our reputation of being the strongest of the 5 great hidden villages. We can't just make any of you kids genin, if you can't perform the simplest things in order to survive in the shinobi world. People get killed easily when they are unprepared, and I'll be damned if I let you guys get killed under my watch. So that is why we will have our test tomorrow. Asuma said with a serious tone. He's right, Ino-chan. If we are not ready, it will be irresponsible for Sensei to let us become shinobi. Naruto informed his girlfriend with a gentle tone. Naruto-kun? Ino asked in disbelief at what he had just said. Well, I'm glad at least one of you is the responsible one. Asuma said with smirk. Oh, don't misunderstood me, Sensei. We will pass that test. We worked very hard too, just to get to where we are now, and it will be a damn waste to be stopped by you, when we are so close. We have our own goals, and it all starts here. We will show you that we do have what it takes to be a shinobi of Konoha. Naruto said with a burning determination in his eyes. The kid's eyes just screamed determination. I guess Dad wasn't kidding about the whole will of fire thing. Asuma thought with a smile for his blonde charge. Naruto-kun, Ino thought with a blush, as she is once again inspired by his words. Bumf, typical Naruto, Shikamaru thought with a smirk. Feeling Naruto always knew what to say when it comes to motivating him. Well, I'm looking forward to it already. Asuma said, as he placed some money on the table. Order the next set on me. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 9 a.m. sharp. Oh, and make sure you bring your A game, because I won't be going easy on you guys. I want you all to be the best, so let's see if you can handle against the best. Asuma said. When Asuma left, the Genin trio soon followed after finishing their second prepaid meal by their sensei. Shikamaru went straight home to get a long not as overdue sleep after saying his goodbyes to the blonde pair, while Naruto decided to walk Ino home, but she suggested that they stop by at his apartment first to have a little talk. As they continue to walk to his apartment, Naruto remembered what he said about his dream to his team earlier, and several things popped into his head. Naruto didn't mention about his other important goals, which is to find his long-lost cousin Tsunade and mother Nono, and bring them back to the village. Nono had been missing for years, ever since she left to the land of Earth for the supposed confidential mission. When Naruto asked Hiruzen about it, the old Hokage swore that he never assigned her to any mission as such. When Naruto mentioned it was a mission from her old superior, a burning rage began to build up in the Hokage's eyes, as he knew who the old superior was. Hiruzen confronted Danzo about Nono, which the old Warhawk denied any of his involvement in the matter, but Hiruzen knew that he was lying through his teeth. But without evidence to support his accusation, Hiruzen couldn't prosecute his old friend. Despite having multiple teams searching for her, for several months, they eventually found nothing. The old Hokage had no choice but to declare her missing or presumably dead. This obviously did not sit well for the young Senju. He absolutely refuses to believe that Nono is dead unless he sees her body. He will never stop searching for the person he sees as his beloved mother. Naruto's apartment. Naruto and Ino entered the living room area and sat on the couch together in uncomfortable silence, until the Yamanaka girl decided to finally speak up to break the tension. "I'm sorry." "For what?" "You know, for kissing you in front of everyone earlier." "Oh that, yeah, not that I don't appreciate a sweet kiss from a lady, but what was that outburst all about?" "God, I really hoped you didn't hear me." "Who didn't hear you?" "Shut up." No seriously, what was that all about?" I don't know, Naruto-kun. When I heard Choji was going to be on Team 7, I got a little excited. That's a lie, I was very excited. There wasn't going to be another Inoshikacho formation, so there was a chance we could be on the same team together. But you know me, I had a very bad case of overthinking. Crazy ideas starting to pop into my head and I was panicking. I guess I didn't realize that I really wanted to be on the same team with you. And I just can't stand the idea that we won't. And I was afraid that we will drift apart. Ino-chan, that's stupid. You know that will never happen. I know it's stupid and immature, but when I heard my name called out, my heart literally skips a beat. I was so happy. I was too happy. And when I looked at you, I just wanted to kiss you and I didn't want to stop myself. And to be honest, I don't want us to be low-key anymore. I'm so sorry that I took that decision away from you. Oh, that's fine. I was getting tired of being low-key too. And that loud declaration? Oh, that was just me being me. Hi. You know, I was happy too. And honestly, at the moment, I wanted to kiss you too. Oh yeah, prove it. Ino said with a seductive smirk. Naruto leans closer and grabs Ino by her slender waist with both hands and pulling her close, where she wraps her arms around his neck, and their lips met in a sweet tender kiss. The kiss eventually turns into a full-on makeout session, as Ino's back is now lying on the couch with Naruto on top of her, and their kiss intensified. Both blondes trying very hard to resist any urges to go beyond that. They are still too young for that after all. The next day, Training Ground 10. It was now 8:30 a.m., and Naruto was the first to arrive at the training ground. Eventually he was joined by the ever-so-eager Ino, and the drowsy yet slightly motivated Shikamaru. Asuma had finally arrived at 9 o'clock a.m. sharp, just like he said he would. Well, I'm glad you guys are punctual. I'm even more impressed that Shikamaru is still awake. Asuma said. Blame these two, they keep yapping in my ear that I have to focus now and sleep later. Shikamaru said with a lazy tone. Hey, it worked, didn't it? Naruto said. Yeah, stop complaining, Shika. When we pass, you can sleep for as long you want. Ino added confidently. Quite confident, aren't you? And we haven't even started yet. Asuma said with a smirk. Well, you need to have right attitude, otherwise what's the point? Naruto said with his own smirk. Can't disagree, kiddo. Now, I hope you guys are ready. This will be a survival test. Asuma said with a serious tone. Survival test? You're not going to kill us, are you, sensei? Ino asked fearfully. No, no, well, I might maim or badly injure you, but no, I won't kill you. Asuma said with a not-so-convincing tone. Any rules of engagement? Naruto asked with his serious tone. You three are to take me down within 1 hour. Asuma said, as he placed a large clock on a wooden pillar. If the clock rings at 10, and I'm still standing, you fail. Give up, you fail. I defeat all 3 of you, you fail. Asuma informed them with a cold tone that sent shivers down the 3 Genin spines. Yikes, and here I thought Naruto-kun is a hard-ass teacher. Ino thought with a slight fear. I advise you come at me with the intention to kill. It's the only way if you are ever going to land a scratch on me. Asuma said. But sensei, what if we hurt you? Ino asked. Ha 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 kid, I'm an elite jonin. And I have been one for years. I fought many tough sons of bitches when I was already your age. Now I won't say that you guys definitely won't stand a chance against me, but if it makes you feel any better, rest assured that I can take anything you throw at me. Asuma said with smirk. The 3 then nodded in agreement. Now, begin. Asuma announced as he sets the alarm on the clock. Ino wasted no time and started her attack first. Fire style, Phoenix Flower Jutsu. She then blew out multiple fireballs towards the elite jonin. The fire attack looked like it hit him dead on, and the ground exploded on impact. Ino had a satisfied smirk on her face, but it soon faded when she saw her target was nothing but a burned log. Asuma then suddenly appeared behind the Genin trio. Not bad. The fire could use a little bit more power, but like I said, not bad. Let's see if you can handle mine. Asuma said, as he formed several hand seals. Fire style, Dragon Flame Bomb. Asuma blew out a powerful stream of fire towards the Genin trio. Naruto was very familiar with that jutsu, as he once saw Hiruzen performed it, and knew that the streaming fire will eventually explode on impact. So dodging is not really ideal at the moment. Naruto then performed several hand seals, and placed both his hands in front of him. Water style, Water Wall. A large wall of water suddenly exploded and appeared out of thin air, surrounding Naruto and his team, which caused the elite jonin to raise an eyebrow in surprise, due to the fact that the nearest water source was on the opposite side of the training ground. The exploding fire collided with the powerful water wall, which causes a large amount of steam to be released. What the hell was that? I didn't see him spew out any water from his mouth. The water wall just came out of thin air. But that's impossible, right? Who is this kid? Asuma thought with wonder. Asuma's thoughts were broken when he saw Naruto perform a set of new hand seals that he is very familiar with. Asuma then made the same hand seals as Naruto, and they both took a deep breath. Wind style, Great Breakthrough. Wind style, Great Breakthrough. Both the Sarutobi and the Senju blew out an equally powerful amount of wind towards each other, cancelling each jutsus out. The wind instantly blew all the steam away that was covering the area. Water and wind affinity, huh? That's a pretty rare combination in Konoha, let alone the land of fire. And those jutsus he used were quite powerful. No doubt that this kid has already taken chakra control training. Asuma thought with a proud smirk. Not bad, Naruto. I can see Dad's training has really paid off. Asuma said. Asuma then notices a shadow was suddenly approaching him. Out of instinct and years of experience, he was able to jump out the way before being ensnared by the lazy Nara. I see. That's quite an impressive strategy, you guys. You use the steam as cover, so Shikamaru can sneak behind me to catch me with his shadow possession jutsu. And the fact I didn't see nor hear any of you verbally communicate, I assume Ino has already established a mind link with all 3 of you, with her mind transmission jutsu. Asuma said with a confident smirk. Damn it. He caught us. All 3 Genins thought. Well, I admit you guys are pretty good, but I'm just getting started. So now let's test out your tracking skills, shall we? Asuma said, before performing several hand seals. Wind style, dust storm jutsu. Asuma blow out a stream of high-velocity wind containing dust particles to the ground below him, using it as a smokescreen to disappear into the woods. Troublesome, we almost had him. Now, he's gone. Shikamaru thought. Don't worry about that, Shika. That was a good plan, but what did we expect from a jonin? Naruto thought. I guess. This test was already troublesome from the start. He could be anywhere right now. Shikamaru thought. Don't worry about it, Shika, Whiskers, got it covered. Ino thought with a smile. Please stop calling me that, Ino-chan. Naruto thought with a tired sigh. Oh, don't pout. It's cute, and that name suits you. Ino thought with a giggle. Guys, as much as I like to hear you two squabble like an old married couple, I rather not hear it in my head, Shikamaru thought with a deadpan look. Sorry Shika, both Naruto and Ino thought in unison. Naruto then knelt down and places his index finger on the floor, and closes his eyes to concentrate in locating their Jonin sensei. Asuma, who was seeing this from not too far away from the Genin trio, raises his eyebrow once more in surprise, when he saw Naruto perform his sensing jutsu. Something about all of this seems very familiar for him. First creating water out of thin air, and now a sensory ability with just a mere touch. It's like one of the many stories his dad once told him about all the powerful shinobis he knew. But he just can't place a finger on which. Naruto snapped eyes open, and snapped his head towards Asuma's direction, which caused the elite Jonin's eyes to widen by surprise, as the blonde Senju had actually found him. Multi-shadow clone jutsu. Naruto create around 30 clones, and had them form into a straight line, facing Asuma's direction. They then formed several identical hand seals, and took a deep breath. This doesn't look good, Asuma said, with a little sweat drop on his head. Wind style, vacuum bullets barrage. All the clones yell out in unison. The clones then fired multiple bullets of high-velocity sharp wind towards the tree line Asuma was located. Many of the trees were being torn to shreds. When the dust settles, all is left was a trail of complete destruction. The clones were then dispelled once the attack was over. Damn Naruto-kun, what did the trees ever do to you? Ino thought with a little bit of awe in her voice. It's much better than you shooting your fireballs at a wooden area. We'll have a forest fire in our hands before you know it, Naruto thought with smirk, but the smirk immediately disappeared when felt a chakra signature beneath them. Earth style, headhunter jutsu. Suddenly a hand snapped out from the ground, and grabbed Ino by her ankle, and dragged her underneath, leaving only her head visible. What the fuck? Get me out of here! Ino yelled out. Asuma then appeared out of the ground and gave the Yamanaka a smirk, for being caught off guard so easily. Ninja art, shadow possession jutsu. Shikamaru sent out his shadow to try to catch Asuma once more, but the elite Jonin was too fast and managed to jump out of the way. Asuma then threw a kunai at Shikamaru, and the shadow user had no choice but to deactivate his jutsu in order to dodge the incoming projectile. Asuma then suddenly appeared behind Shikamaru, and chopped the back of his neck, knocking him out unconscious. The elite Jonin then turns to look at his last standing student. It's just you and me now, Naruto. And you know the rule. If you're out, everyone is out, Asuma said with a cold tone. Asuma then charges at Naruto with great speed, and the two were now engaged in an intense taijutsu fight. Naruto's wing fist was formidable against Asuma's kata. The blonde genin was proven much faster than the elite Jonin, and was able to land a couple of hard jabs on him. But Asuma still had size and strength on his side. Naruto realized that fighting against Asuma in taijutsu will waste a lot of time and energy, so he decided to create as much distance as he could. He kicked away from Asuma and made several hand seals. Water style, liquid bullet. Naruto spat out a very large and powerful orb of water towards the elite Jonin, which he narrowly avoided. The water orb completely obliterated the tree behind Asuma. That liquid bullet could break every bone in my body if I didn't dodge it. How strong is this kid's water affinity? Asuma wonders. Naruto then took out single kunai and channeled wind chakra into it, and threw it towards Asuma. He can channel wind chakra into his weapons too. It's like this kid is tailor-made to be my stew. Asuma didn't get to finish his thought, as he saw Naruto made several hand seals, and Asuma's eyes widen as he knew that jutsu very well. Ninja art, Shuriken Shadow, Clone Jutsu. The single wind-enhanced kunai suddenly multiplied into hundreds, which causes the Jonin to sweat a bit. Damn it, Dad. Why did you teach him that jutsu? This kid is smart, I'll give him that. He's targeting all my blind spots. Dodging is impossible, and taking cover is out of the question. One thing left to do then. Asuma thought, as he made several hand seals. Wind style, great breakthrough. Asuma blew out a powerful gust of wind, and blew all the wind-enhanced kunais away before any could hit him. Asuma was taking a deep breath to gain back some of the lost air he just released, but when he turned around, Naruto was gone, along with Ino and Shikamaru. That kid is something else. Asuma said, impressed by Naruto's abilities. 15 minutes left till 10 a.m. The Genin trio were sitting by a large branch and were panting heavily, as they were able to get as much distance from Asuma. Thanks Naruto, you really saved us back there. Shikamaru said. Yeah, I'm sorry, I was caught off guard. It won't happen again. Ino said, but looking down in shame. It's fine guys. Don't worry about it. But we need to come up with another plan soon. We have 15 minutes left and any plan we make will be our last shot. Fighting Asuma-sensei in a taijutsu match is a lost cause, and he can counter most of my ninjutsus. Not to mention, he's fully aware your clan's signature tekwakiks, and knows how to defend himself against them. Naruto informed his team. So what do we do, Naruto-kun? Ino asked. If we are going beat him, we have to do it together. As for how, I was hoping you could figure it out. Naruto turned to Shikamaru. Troublesome, give me 2 minutes. Shikamaru said with a confident smirk. Back with Asuma, 8 minutes till 10 a.m. Asuma is now standing in a large clearing. The hour is almost up, so he might as well make it a little easier for the Genin trio to find him. It seems my cute little Genins are still nowhere to found. And here I was hoping they might. Asuma didn't get to finish his sentence, as he heard Ino's voice came out from one of the branches. Fire style, Phoenix Flower Jutsu. Ino blew out multiple fireballs towards Asuma. This again. Nice try, but... Asuma then saw Naruto perform several hand seals next to Ino. Wind style, great breakthrough. Naruto blew out a large gust of air towards the fireballs, increasing their size, speed and firepower. Collaboration, jutsu. Shit. Asuma said. Asuma used his headhunter jutsu to escape the powerful inferno. Naruto then jumps into the dark and still scorching clearing, and placed his index finger on the hot ground to locate his sensei. His eyes snapped open when he felt Asuma was below him. He quickly jumps up high in air, to avoid the ground ascending Asuma from catching him. As Naruto was still in the air, he made several hand seals. Water style, raging waves. Naruto shot out a large torrent of water from his mouth towards Asuma, which he narrowly avoided, but the water stream was still chasing after him on the scorched ground, causing a large amount of steam to emerge. Asuma was so distracted by the violent water stream, that he didn't even realize that a shadow was slowly approaching him. Naruto's jutsu eventually ended and Asuma stopped his running, and was about to charge at Naruto in the now steamy environment. But suddenly he felt his body completely paralyze. Shadow possession success. Ino now. Shikamaru yelled out. Ino jumps out of the branch she was standing on, and landing in front of Asuma. She then made a single unique hand seal. Ninja art, mind transfer jutsu. Ino's body suddenly dropped down limp, and Asuma's body had stopped struggling. Gotcha, sensei. Naruto-kun. Whatever you are going to do it now. Sensei is very strong. Ino said in Asuma's body, but the sheer willpower of the Sarutobi is making her struggle to hold him. Remember to release your jutsu at the last minute. Naruto reminded, as he then made several hand seals. Water style, liquid bullet. Naruto spat out a large orb of water towards the immobilized Asuma/Ino, at fast speeds. But Shikamaru and Ino's chakra were nearly empty. When the water orb was inches away from Asuma, Ino releases her jutsu, but Shikamaru lost control over his, and it was broken a millisecond early, allowing Asuma to narrowly jump out of the way from the powerful water orb. When the mist water orb collided and destroyed the tree behind Asuma, the alarm had finally run off. Shocking the trio, as they had realized that they had run out of time. It was a moment of silence for the Genin trio as they looked down in disappointment. They had failed to defeat Asuma within 1 hour. Naruto, Ino and Shikamaru are now standing before Asuma with a very disappointed look on their faces. That was a very clever plan, you guys. You two intentionally scorched the earth beneath me to darken the ground surface with your collaboration jutsu. Then Naruto draws me out, and uses his water style to cause as much steam as possible to perfectly hide Shikamaru's shadow from approaching me. And when I was finally caught, Ino uses her mind transfer to completely immobilize me, allowing Naruto to go in with the finishing blow. Asuma summarized their original plan. It was all Shikamaru's idea. We just did our part. Naruto said with a little dejected tone. Don't sell yourself short, kiddo. You three worked very well together. Almost as good as the actual Ino-Shikacho combo. Asuma said with a proud smile. Well, I guess we'll try to be better next year. Shikamaru said with his dejected tone. Why next year? You guys aren't thinking on slacking out on me for the whole year, are you? Asuma asked with a smirk. What? Ino asked, slightly confused. Oh, I'm sorry, guess I wasn't clear, you all pass. Asuma said with a proud smirk. What? I mean, what? Ino yelled out in disbelief. Not to look a gift horse in the mouth, but I thought we failed. Naruto asked. Hahaha, what was the test called again? Asuma asked the Genin trio. Survival test. Ino answered. Exactly. This test was for me to determine if you are ready to be a shinobi. I needed to see your level of skills, intelligence, and most importantly teamwork. Asuma explained. But you said, we needed to take you down, within 1 hour. Naruto reminded. Yes, I did. But I didn't say, you needed take me down within 1 hour, to pass, did I? Asuma said with a smirk. Chiki-sensei, the Genin trio thought with a deadpan look at Asuma. Hahaha, look, overall, you three performed excellent today. But it wasn't perfect. You obviously need more training, which is good, because that is what I am here for. Shikamaru, your intelligence is without a doubt impressive. But your taijutsu skills is almost non-existent, and we really need to work on your chakra reserves if you are going to last long in a fight. Asuma said to the Nara. More training. Troublesome. Shikamaru said with tired sigh. Ino, while your mastery over your clan's tekwakiks will be quite beneficial for this team, you still need to work on your chakra control. The phoenix flower you used is strong, but it is still not living up to its fullest potential. If we can improve your control, your fire jutsus will be effortless and less chakra draining. Plus, my secondary affinity is fire, so I can teach you some new jutsus once you master your control. Plus, it is best if we also train your sensory abilities. You can't always rely on your boyfriends, right? Asuma asked with a smirk, which causes Ino to blush in embarrassment. And now Naruto. I have to admit, Dad really wasn't kidding about you. You impressed me the most, kiddo. Your taijutsu, ninjutsu, chakra control and even your unique sensory ability is above chunin level already. And thanks to your large chakra reserves, you are practically this team's powerhouse. But let's use this time to improve your strategy and tactical skills. While you are proven intelligent and know how to think on your feet, having a strategic mindset would prove very beneficial for someone like you in the future. Asuma said. Well, if I want to become Hokage, I guess I need to be more like Shikamaru. I just hope I don't catch his laziness, Naruto said with a smirk at his pineapple-haired friend. Troublesome blonde, Shikamaru said with a smile. I take offense to that, by the way. Ino said with a deadpan look. Ha ha ha, well, I guess that settles it. From this point on, we are now officially Team 10. And we'll start our first mission tomorrow. Asuma said with a proud smile. It has been almost 2 months now, since Team 10 has been declared an official team. Asuma wasn't kidding when he said he was determined to make sure his cute little genins become the best damn ninjas in Konoha. So between missions, he had created a training schedule for them. On the weekdays, they will do at least 2 D-rank missions a day, to fulfill their quota of getting a C-rank mission in the future. After the missions are done, they will proceed to their training regimen for the rest of day. That includes helping them improve their strength, speed and stamina. For someone like Naruto, who has been training since he was 5, and has a powerful chakra monster as an ally, who is also constantly recharging his energy reserves, it was simply a routine exercise for the young Senju. But unfortunately for his 2 compatriots, it was a week of hell. Even though Ino had been training with Naruto since they were kids, it wasn't as intense as his training with Hiruzen. Naruto understood that not everyone has his level of endurance, so he tried to be as patient as he could with her. She of course eventually improved over time, and became the talented kunoichi she is now. But unlike Naruto, Asuma doesn't share his softness when it comes to her. Her weakness was still her stamina and she needed more training with her chakra control. Asuma practically dethroned Naruto as Ino's most nightmarish teacher. Shikamaru on the other hand, was struggling when it comes to his physical capabilities. Like Ino, he had low stamina, but compared to her, he had the lowest. Asuma had made it his personal mission to help Shikamaru get better, and also help him expand his jutsu arsenal. The more jutsus he knows, the more options he has in battle. Since Asuma already knew that Naruto has an affinity for water and wind, and Ino has fire, it would be a shame to leave Shikamaru behind when it comes to his elemental training. So Asuma gave Shikamaru a chakra paper and told him to channel his chakra into it. And surprisingly, the paper turned to dust, indicating that Shikamaru has an earth affinity. Usually for a Nara, their affinity should be water, due to its calm and relaxing nature. Which should explain why they can be so relaxed most of the times, and their shadows can move so fluidly. But in some cases, the elemental affinity can be based on a person's own nature. Take Ino for example, her fiery personality and hot temper was an obvious sign that her nature is fire. As for Naruto, he can be as calm as the water, and as uplifting as the wind. Shikamaru might have the earth affinity due to his very steady nature. Asuma was a little proud that his team is well balanced when it comes to their nature transformations. The only affinity missing is lightning. But unfortunately he won't be able to train Naruto with his water affinity, and Shikamaru with his earth affinity, since Asuma only has fire and wind. So he'll just have to get some training scrolls for each of them to learn. Shikamaru was given scrolls based on the basics, since he still needs to learn the fundamentals first. He needed to learn how to channel his earth chakra, before he can learn any jutsus. Naruto was given a couple of scrolls based on new water jutsus. Most of the jutsus are C rank and above, and given that Naruto is already a skilled water style user, Asuma knew he could handle the jutsu's power and chakra requirements. Hokage Tower, Mission Room. Team 10 is now standing before the Hokage, along with Iruka and another Chunin beside him. They had just finished their first D-rank mission of the day, and was probably about to receive another from the old Hokage. The mission was simple: capture the daimyo's wife's cat known as Tora. It was a classic pain-in-the-ass mission for fresh genins, since Tora tends to run away often. She was proven very difficult to catch, and has the tendency to scratch the living hell out of a genin's face once captured. Ino was the unfortunate one, since she was blinded by the cat's cuteness and eagerly wanted to pet it. But the poor girl didn't see the cat's irritating claws coming, and scratched a good portion of her pretty face. When Tora jumps out of Ino's hands, Naruto immediately swooped in and caught her, before she could escape. But to everyone's shock, Tora did not struggle in the Senju's hold, which surprises his teammates, and pissed Ino off even more. Tora seemed to be surprisingly calm and friendly towards Naruto. She even licked his whiskered cheeks and purred heavily in his arms. Asuma thought it could be because of his whisker marks, since he does look like a cat with them. When they arrive at the Hokage tower, Tora was immediately snatched from Naruto's warm embrace by the daimyo's wife. "Oh my sweet cat. You have been a very naughty girl, haven't you? But don't worry, Mummy will make sure you will never do it again." The daimyo's wife says in a very sweet motherly tone, but apparently she is tightly squeezing the life out of the poor cat in her supposed affectionate embrace. Yikes, I can see why the cat runs away often, Naruto thought with a sad look. That stupid cat is getting what she deserves. But damn, I can't help but feel bad for her now, Ino thought, with a semi-satisfied smile. And here I thought the cat is just a pain in the ass, but apparently, she just needed some space. Shikamaru thought with an empathic look in his eyes. As the daimyo's wife leaves with a crying Tora, who apparently cried out for Naruto to help her, Team 10 then turns their attention back to the old Hokage. Congratulations, Team 10. Another successful mission in your record. Now, if you wish for another mission, we do have several requests. Either babysitting a lord's child, repainting the fences of a merchant's house, or... Hiruzen didn't get to finish his sentence, as he was interrupted by the frustrated cry of Ino. "No. I'm sorry, Hokage-sama, but with all due respect, these missions are a complete bogus. Babysitting, fence painting, capturing a runaway cat. I thought we are ninjas, not glorified bitches." "Ow wow." Ino cried out, when she was hit in the head by an embarrassed Asuma. Language, young lady, was all Asuma could say. I agree with Ino-chan, Sarutobi-sensei. Not that I don't understand why we are doing these missions since we are still fresh genin, but I think we performed enough D ranks to earn us at least a C rank mission, don't you think? Naruto tried to emphasize Ino's words in a more respectful manner. What do you think, Asuma-kun? Do you think your students are ready for a C rank? Hiruzen asked as his Jonin son. Well, we have completed 88 D ranks in these past 2 months, Asuma pointed out. We? The Genin trio thought with annoyance, as Asuma only helped sometimes. Usually, they need at least 50 D ranks to earn a C rank, which they have. And I can confidently say that they are ready. Not to toot my own horn, but I trained them well, and they are a very talented bunch of young shinobis. Asuma said with pride in his voice. Very well then. Hiruzen agrees. Are you sure, Hokage-sama? While I don't doubt their capabilities or Asuma-san's training, but they are still very young for a mission outside the village. Iruka asked out of concern for his former students. They will have to do it eventually, Iruka. And I trust Asuma-kun will keep them safe. Hiruzen assures the scarred Chunin. Don't worry, Iruka-sensei. I promise we will be careful. Naruto says with a confident smile that somehow calms the scared Chunin's concerns. Now, I have a 2 C-rank missions you can choose from. Hiruzen says, as he pulls out 2 mission scrolls, both are escort missions. The first mission is requested by the Wasabi family from the land of tea. The second is requested by a local bridge builder from the land of waves. So take your pick. Hiruzen asked the team in front of him. It's up to you, kiddo. You're the one who wanted a C-rank mission, right? Either one is fine with me. Asuma gave the mission choice to the blonde Senju instead. Which one do you think is more urgent, Sarutobi-sensei? If we can finish the first one fast, maybe we can attend the second one later. Naruto asked his old sensei. Well, that would be Land of Tea escort mission. According to the Wasabi family, it is regarding the annual Todoroki Shrine race that will soon start in 2 days. And it will take at least a day to arrive in the Land of Tea. Hiruzen informed. What about the bridge builder from the Land of Waves? Ino asked. The bridge builder said he will need at least a week to prepare for his trip back home, so you'll have less than 7 days to complete the first mission. Hiruzen assured. So, what do you guys think? Naruto asked his fellow genins. You go ahead and choose. It's too troublesome anyway. Shikamaru admitted. I don't mind if we can do both. As long as it's not a D-rank mission. Ino said with a smile. Alright, we'll pick the Land of Tea escort mission then. But, who are we escorting? Naruto asked. I don't know. Hiruzen simply said. What do you mean you don't know, Hokage-sama? Ino asked. In the neighboring nation of the Land of Tea, they have a dedication ceremony at the Great Todoroki Shrine once every 4 years. We've received a request to escort the runner, who will participate in the race that will be held there. But an assailant from the opponent's side attacked the messengers before they arrived here. Hiruzen informed. Assailant? Were they able to identify them? Asuma asked. The messengers weren't sure, but they suspect it was a shinobi. But if that's the case, this mission could be upgraded to an A rank if you encounter any. Hiruzen informed. Forgive me, Hokage-sama, but I still don't understand this mission, Shikamaru asked. You should get the details directly from the head of the Wasabi family, Jirocho. I advise you leave immediately to the Land of Tea, since time is of the essence. Hiruzen said. Yes, Hokage-sama. Team 10 said together with a respectful bow. I'll give you guys an hour to go home, and get all the essentials you need for a 1-week trip. Then meet me at the village gate when you're done. Asuma informed his team. Good luck to all of you. Hiruzen wishes them. The village gate 1 hour later. Naruto was the first to arrive, and was later greeted by Asuma, who is currently leaning against a tree while enjoying a cigarette under the shade. As the pair now waited for the rest of their team to show up, Asuma thought this was the best time to finally have a long overdue conversation with his blonde student. What are you not telling me, Naruto? Asuma asked all of a sudden. What do you mean, Asuma-sensei? Forgive me if I'm a little blunt, but Dad told me that you already know about your burden. Yes, I do, Naruto answered nervously, which the elite Jonin noticed. Look, I want you to know that I'm not like one of those ignorant pricks. I actually like you, kiddo, and even I can tell the difference between a prison and a prisoner. But regardless of that, I only see you as Naruto. And don't tell the others this, but I think you're my favorite student. Asuma admitted with a warm smile. Ha, thanks, Asuma-sensei, that means a lot. Naruto said with his own smile. Dad also told me that I will never have to worry about your tenant. Apparently, you have some level of control over the Kyuubi's power. Is that true? Asuma asked with a bit of worry in voice. Well, yes, sensei. Me and the Nine Tails have an understanding. Naruto said. Define understanding, Asuma asked with a raised eyebrow. We are kind of friends, Naruto admitted, while rubbing the back of his head sheepishly. You are friends with the Kyuubi? And here I thought hell won't freeze over. Asuma was in disbelief. Look, I know what you're going to say, and I know all the bad things he did 13 years ago. But there are some things you don't understand. Things that will bring up so many questions. And I don't really have all the answers for them right now. Naruto said with a sad tone. Then, help me understand, Naruto. I know I'm only your sensei for 2 months, but you can trust me. I know I can trust you, sensei. I can sense it. What do you mean? It's one of my abilities as a Kyubi Jinchuriki. I can sense negative emotions like hostility, aggression and evil. Naruto explained his unique ability. That's incredible, Naruto. You are practically a spy's worst enemy. Asuma said, with awe in his voice for his blonde student. Ha ha ha, yup. And I can confidently say that you are good man, Asuma-sensei. Naruto said with a smile. But this caused the elite Jonin to look down in shame of himself. I'm not really a good man, kiddo. Well, specifically, I'm not really a good son. I was a real selfish brat when I was young. After my mum died, I had a disagreement with dad. We argued a lot and eventually, it led me to leave the village for a while to pursue my own personal interest. But till this day, I still remember how hurt dad was when I left. Asuma said with a hint of guilt in his voice. I see, do you have any regrets? Naruto asked. Of course I do, kiddo. But it wasn't a total loss. I get to be part of the 12 Guardian Ninja, and I made a good friend with a monk named Chiriku. Plus, I managed to earn my reputation as one of Konoha's elite ninjas. Hell, I even have a bounty on my head that is worth 35 million ryo. Asuma said with a proud smirk. 35 million ryo? Who did you pissed off, sensei? Naruto asked, shocked that his sensei was probably in every single bounty hunter's bingo book. Ha ha ha, it's a black market bounty, Naruto. Plus, I made a lot of enemies over the years, so right now it's anyone's guess for who set it up. But, I am a little proud though. The more I'm worth, the more badass I am, right? Ha ha ha, Asuma said a proud smirk for himself. Why am I getting the feeling that this bounty is going to get you killed someday? Naruto said with a deadpan look. Oh come on kiddo, you're just being paranoid. Asuma said with a laid-back tone. After a brief silence, they both shared a good laugh together. It was a nice bonding moment between student and sensei. Naruto liked the fact that deep down Asuma is a lot like Hiruzen, even if they are very significantly different. But regardless, Asuma was now someone that Naruto would trust with his life and his teammates. He then felt a little confident to tell his Jonin sensei another important secret about himself. Sensei. Yeah, kiddo. I have something else I want to tell you though. What is it? Well, I have a kek. Naruto didn't get to finish his sentence, as he was interrupted by a sudden loud yell, and the sound of running footsteps approaching them. We're here. We're here. Sorry, we're late. Ino yelled out while panting, as she and Shikamaru had finally arrived at the village gate. Yeah, apparently our mums won't stop nagging us about the possible dangers outside the village. What a drag. Shikamaru said with a tired sigh. Well, you guys are here now, that's all that matters. The land of tea is a one-day trip, but let's see if we can make it there sooner. Let's go, Asuma said, as he led his team out of the gates of Konoha. Yeah! Finally! A mission outside the village. Ino yelled out happily, as they had finally left the confines of their home. Troublesome, it's going to be a long week. Shikamaru said with a tired tone. You excited, Naruto-kun? It's our first time outside the village, right? Ino asked her blonde paramour. You bet. And don't worry, I'll keep you safe, milady. And I will personally make sure to always keep you warm. Naruto said with a teasing wink to his girlfriend. Ino couldn't help but blush heavily at this. 8 years of being together, and yet the blonde Senju can still make her feel like a girl with a crush. You need to stop hanging out with Enko, kiddo. Anyway, what is it that you want to tell me again? Asuma asked his male blonde student. Oh, maybe later. Naruto said, thinking it wasn't the best time now. But then again, there's a good chance I might show you. Naruto thought, as he almost knew he has to use his Hyoton abilities sometime soon. They will never know what kind of enemies they might face. They then began to make their way to the land of tea. As Team 10 continues to make their way to their client's residence, they noticed a small tea house nearby. They decided to head towards there, to get some lunch and rest before moving on. As they walk, Ino couldn't help but notice that Naruto was reading a scroll intently, so she decided to ask. "What are you reading, Naruto-kun?" "Oh, this? It's a scroll based on Fuinjutsu, also known as the art of sealing. I got it last month from Sarutobi sensei. It's quite complex, compared to ninjutsu. I might need to work on my calligraphy too, since I need to write down the kanjis perfectly, otherwise it won't work." Naruto answered as he continues to look through the scroll. "Why are you learning Fuinjutsu all of a sudden?" Shikamaru asked. 3 reasons. 1. Fuinjutsu is quite useful. Its possibilities are vast and endless. The simplest jutsu I can do now is the storage seal, which I can use to keep all my belongings into a scroll. I can pack a month's worth of supplies into a scroll, and still run around at my top speed without feeling any of the weight. 2. Kakashi Nison's birthday is coming up, and I'm learning a very particular seal that might just surprise him. 3. Sarutobi sensei told me, my mother was part of a clan called the Uzumaki, and they were well known for this tekuhike. Feared even. Naruto said excitedly at first, but with a sad tone in the end. I heard of that clan. They were from the village of Uzushiogakure, the Hidden Eddy village. They were actually one of Konoha's greatest allies for decades. At the end of the Warring States period, the Senju chose to symbolize their clan's friendship by adding the Uzumaki's emblem to Konoha's flak jackets. Asuma said, as he used his thumb to point at the red spiral on the back of his Jonin flak jacket. What do you mean by were? Aren't they still around? Ino asked. Unfortunately, no. Some of the world's nations banded together to destroy Uzushiogakure, believing the village was too powerful to be allowed to continue. The survivors of Uzushio's destruction went into hiding and spread throughout the world. I guess that includes my mother. Naruto said with a sad tone. Naruto-kun, I'm so sorry. Ino said, feeling sad for her whiskers. Don't apologize, Ino-chan, it's not your fault, haha, I remembered, I once said this line to you already. When we first met, when I told you I was the last Senju in Konoha. Naruto said with a soft smile, thinking of the happy memory of how he met his Ino-chan. Ino couldn't help but blush, that Naruto actually remembered how they met 8 years ago. But she was still sad for her whiskers, for being one of the last members of all his clans. Sigh, I guess I have the worst of luck when it comes to clans. 3 of them are nearly extinct already, Naruto said with a sad sigh, but he quickly realized he accidentally let something important about him slipped out. Which did not go unnoticed by his teammates. 3. Asuma asked, with a raised eyebrow. 2. I mean 2-inch, Naruto quickly corrected himself, but failing. You said 3, Shikamaru added in. No, I didn't, Naruto answered dumbly. We heard you said 3, Naruto, Asuma said, with a little serious tone. Maybe, I meant 3 minus 1, which is 2, anyway look. The tea house. Let's go. I'm starving. Naruto immediately tried to change the subject, by running away quickly to the tea house. Asuma and Shikamaru then turned to Ino. Do you know something that we don't? Asuma asked his platinum blonde student. After almost a decade of being together, of course Naruto would eventually tell Ino all his secrets. He trusted her completely, and every secret he shared brought them closer together. She knew about Kurama, and she took it well. She knew about his parents, which made her faint when he told her. But when Naruto told her about his grandparents, and his Hyoton Kekkei Genkai, she can't help but feel that she had landed the ultimate boyfriend jackpot. Naruto is truly amazing in her eyes, and she was willing to work very hard just to be worthy of him. Even though Naruto always assures her that she is already perfect in his eyes. Ino may be a loudmouth and a gossiper, but even she can keep a secret. She promised Naruto that she won't tell anyone until he himself reveals it. And she has kept that promise ever since. And she wasn't going to start breaking it now. Ah, what was that Naruto-kun? Coming. Ino said as she rushes to where Naruto went to avoid their questions. What are they not telling us? Came the thoughts of both Asuma and Shikamaru. The tea house. As the 4 Konoha shinobi sat down at their table, they immediately ordered their food and beverages. Naruto ordered some sweet bean soup, while Ino ordered dumplings, and Shikamaru just wanted some jelly. Asuma just ordered the shop's signature tea, and asked for the permission to light up his cigarette. But unfortunately the tea house has a no-smoking rule, which causes the elite to cry inside a little. But unbeknownst to the 4, a young man sitting across from them, who is currently sharpening a thin stick with a pocket knife for no reason, was gritting his teeth and glaring daggers at them the moment he saw their headbands. Ninja from the hidden leaf, the young man thought, with a bit of venom in his voice. As the young man got up, he slowly made his way to the table of the 4-leaf shinobis, to say his piece to them. Having sweet bean soup when it's so nice outside. The ninja profession sure is carefree nowadays. The young man said with a smug tone. What is that supposed to mean? Naruto asked the stranger with narrowed eyes. Things must be really peaceful for the Leaf Village. Judging from the dense-looking guys like you all. The young man said, with his smug grew even more wider. Yeah, okay pal, I'm going to ask you to leave now. Naruto said with a calm tone. Weak insults from ignorant people meant nothing to him anymore. Yeah, who the hell do you think you are? Ino yelled out. Hey, I didn't know there was such a cutie here. I take back that previous comment. The young man said, when he noticed Ino. Thank you. Ino said with a small blush for the compliment. I date Marino. What's your name, young lady? The now identified idate says with a seductive tone, as he continues to flirt with the pretty platinum blonde girl. Marino? Isn't that? Asuma thought, as the surname was very familiar to him. Ino, she answered a bit shyly, for the way he talks to her. Ino, huh, that's a beautiful name. Well then, since fate has brought us together, isn't it time we talk about our future? Idate says, with a wink. And, what future is that? Ino asked, curious to hear his answer. I'm talking about you quitting the ninja life and becoming my bride. Idate says with seductive smirk, which obviously caused the Yamanaka girl to blush more by the sudden bold proposal. But, she then remembered who she was sitting next to, and the blush immediately faded when she felt the sudden chill. The air just got a lot colder, and Ino knew what was happening. Asuma and Shikamaru even felt it, but could only wonder where it came from. But then they noticed a large shadow was surrounding Naruto, and a small trace of his killing intent was being released. But the blonde managed to calm himself down, otherwise risked destroying the nice tea house. Yeah, Idate was it? I may not look like it, but I am a reasonable man. So I'm going to give you 10 seconds to step away from Ino-chan, before I cut your balls off and shove them down your throat, Naruto said with calm tone, but behind his calm facade was a pissed-off boyfriend. Oh my god, is Naruto-kun actually jealous? My oh my, how the tables have turned. And yet, why do I find it so hot when he gets a little possessive of me? Is this normal? Maybe I need to ask someone later. Ino thought curiously, and was slightly happy to know that her dear Whiskers is as jealous as her, when it comes to other people flirting with them. But Idate merely scoffed at the threat. Don't worry, I'm just kidding around. But the rest of it, that's no joke. If there's one thing I can't stand is a ninja. If you keep wandering around the land of tea, there will be trouble. So consider yourself warned. Idate said, venom in his voice. Are you threatening us, boy? Asuma asked, finally voicing out with a serious tone. If there is one thing the elite Jonin didn't like, are threats. Like I said. A simple warning. Idate said with a smug. Well, we don't take simple warnings from scrawny dickheads. So if I were you, I scram. Before I enact my first warning on you. Naruto said with calmly cold tone. Idate glared angrily at Naruto for the insult. Who does this little blonde boy think he is, he thought. Calm down, Naruto-kun. Ino said sweetly to her blonde boyfriend. She's right. Just ignore the troublesome punk. We don't have the time. Shikamaru said with a bored tone. I will, once, whoa, where did he go? Naruto said, as he notices that Idate had completely vanished. Huh, he's gone. Ino asked in disbelief of how fast Idate was. No way. I didn't even notice. I don't know if I'm a little rusty, or that kid is just very fast. Asuma thought. Sigh, and I was hoping I get to punch that prick's face, at least. Naruto said with a disappointed sigh. Aw Whiskers, you're so cute when you're jealous. Don't worry, you know you're the only one for me, Ino said with a loving smirk. He hit on you, my girlfriend, in front of me. He's lucky I didn't kill him then and there. Naruto said, with a tick mark on his head. Then the waitress finally showed up with their orders, and gave them their bill. But surprisingly, she gave them 2 sets of bills. I will collect them when you are done, the waitress says as she walks away from the table. Wait. Why 2 bills? Asuma asked. Yours and your young friend that just left. He said that you guys would pay for him. The waitress answered. That son of a bitch. Ino yelled out for being conned. Naruto, can you find him? Shikamaru asked his blonde best friend. On it, Naruto said, as he got off his chair and knelt down on the ground. He then placed his index finger on the floor and closed his eyes to concentrate in locating their Dine and Dasher. He then snapped his eyes open when he was able to find a trace. I know where he is, but he's moving fast. We need to go now if we want to catch up. He's quite far already from what I can tell. Naruto said with a serious tone. That no good jerk. He thinks he can make a fool out of us. Let's go catch him so I can burn him and turn his mind to puddle. Ino says with fire in her eyes. Not before I drown him and cut him up to ribbons. Naruto said with an evil smile, which Ino gladly returns with hers. They even shared a small, evil laugh, together, which caused Shikamaru to sweat drop for his blonde teammate's violent tendencies. I knew this was going to be a long mission. Shikamaru said with a tired sigh. The Genin trio then left the tea house in a hurry, leaving only their Jonin instructor behind to pay the bill, which he cursed them under his breath. I'm afraid we have to go now, ma'am. My students can be a little eager sometimes. Thank you very much for the meal. I'll leave the money here on the table. Asuma said, as he slowly walked to where his students went, feeling that this isn't really an important issue, so he'll just take his time. Forest area, in pursuit of Idate. As the Genin trio hastily chases after the ninja-hating Dine and Dasher, Asuma was slowly walking behind them with his own pace. That guy has incredible speed. He must have trained his legs for years if he is able to move at this distance in such a short time. Naruto said. Who the hell is he anyway? Shikamaru asked. Doesn't matter, we're definitely going to catch up to him, Ino yelled out in confidence. With Idate. Idate was running like there was no tomorrow. The way he ran looked very effortless and non-tiring for the young Dine and Dasher. Stupid ninja. Before they can even get started, I'll be miles away from those losers. Idate said with a confident smug. But as he continues to run at his top speed, he accidentally tripped on a root, and was sent falling down hard from a cliff, not knowing that his pocket knife had fallen from his possession. He was able to break his fall by crashing on a tree branch before he could hit the ground. All the speed in the world won't help, if I don't watch where I'm going. Idate scolded himself for his carelessness. Idate then jumps down from the branch and landed on the ground on his feet. But he failed to realize that he is currently surrounded by 2 pissed-off genins, and 1 bored one. I agree. But that will be irrelevant, once I break both your legs. Ino said, as she released some of her killing intent. Idate looked up, and saw the angry platinum blonde girl standing on a tree branch on his left, while Shikamaru at the right side, and Naruto in front of him. He was completely surrounded. You got a lot of nerve to piss these 2 off. But because of you, I had to run. So now you piss me off. Shikamaru said with an annoyed tone. Did you honestly think that you can get away with it? We're ninjas, whether you like it or not. We were trained to catch punks like you. So I hope you are ready for what comes next. Naruto said, as he cracked his knuckles, indicating that he is going to beat the living hell out the Dine and Dasher before him. Idate gritted his teeth in frustration, knowing that there is only one thing he can do now, to save himself. I'm sorry, Idate yelled out, as he knelt down and bowed his head in shame. Ha! The Genin trio said in unison, confused by the sudden display of cowardice. They then jumped down from their branches, landing near Idate. I had my wallet stolen and was at loss, then you guys showed up. I didn't know what else to do. Idate was practically begging for forgiveness at this point. You're kidding. All your money? Ino asked, with a bit of sympathy in her voice. Well, why didn't just say ow? Naruto yelped in pain, as he felt something land on his head, but he was able to catch it before it fell to the ground. It was a pocket knife. What is this? Naruto said, as he looked at the knife with wonder. Idate then raised his head from ground, and noticed it was his precious pocket knife. And somebody aside from him is holding it. Don't touch it. Give it to me. Idate suddenly changed his cowardice personality into a very angry one, as he hastily tried to take back the pocket knife from Naruto. But Naruto had faster reflexes than the Dine and Dasher, and was able to avoid all of his desperate grabs, that eventually turned to aggressive punches. Hey! Quit it! I'm warning you! Naruto said between dodges and blocks with an annoyed tone, at the sudden aggression of Idate. All of this, just for a stupid pocket knife. Naruto is becoming even more pissed off with the older boy before him. Who is he to be angry with him? That is mine. Give it back or I'll. Idate didn't get to finish his sentence, as he was hit with a quick haymaker punch from the Senju, knocking him out cold. Naruto Kyuen? Ino yelled out in disbelief for the sudden knockout punch. What? The prick got crazy and attacked me. Just because I was holding his pocket knife, nice craftsmanship though. Naruto said as he analyzed the possibly custom-made knife. Maybe that is why Idate wanted it back so badly. Alright, we did what we came for, right? We chased him down, and you punched him in the face. Can we go now? Shikamaru asked with a bored tone. Yeah, Asuma-sensei is not far from here, and he is already reaching the Wasabi family's compound right about now. Let's go catch up to him. Naruto said. What are you going to with the pocket knife? Ino asked. I'm no thief. Even though I really like the design of the handle. But I'm going to leave him a little note. A little something for him to remember what will happen if he crosses us again. Naruto said with an evil smile, that even gave some chills to both Ino and Shikamaru. Asuma-sensei is right, Naruto-kun. You really need to stop hanging out with Anko. Ino said with a sweat drop, feeling her boyfriend's big sister figure is a bad influence on him. 1 hour later. Idate woke up with a black eye and major headache. The last thing he remembered was being punched by the blonde ninja boy because he was holding his. My knife. Where is? Idate saw his pocket knife near him. Its blade sticking downwards in the ground. Idate quickly got up and went to pick it up, but then he saw the carved written message on the ground, next to the knife. Dear Idate. Sorry about touching your precious knife. Didn't know you were so weird about it. Lucky for you, I'm no thief. But you did belittle the title of shinobi, con your way out of your bill, and flirt with my girl. Kidding aside, since you like to give simple warnings so much, let me give you mine. If I ever see you again, I will use that pretty little knife of yours to cut your balls off. Sincerely, Naruto. I'd scoff at the warning like it was an empty threat, but couldn't help feel a small chill crawling up his spine. A single punch from the supposed Naruto was enough to knock him out cold. Imagine if he was serious about hurting him. That thought alone was enough to put some terror into him. Wasabi family compound Jirocho's residence. After regrouping with their Jonin sensei, Team 10 is now standing before Jirocho, the head of the Wasabi family, and their client. Welcome, and thank you all for coming. I hope your trip here didn't have any trouble, Jirocho says with a grateful smile. Not at all, Jirocho-san. We know how important this race is to your country. Lord Hokage is honored that you had chosen Konoha for aid. I am Asuma Sarutobi, Elite Jonin. These are my Genin team, Naruto Senju, Ino Yamanaka and Shikamaru Nara. Asuma says, as he introduces his team. At your service. Naruto greeted with small bow. Nice to meet you, Jirocho-san. Ino said with a smile. What's up? Shikamaru said with a lazy wave. It is nice to meet all of you. And it is an honor to have you here. I am very thankful for your help. Jirocho said with a smile. Now that we are done with the greetings, let's get down to business. Lord Hokage told us to get the details of this mission directly from you. Asuma asked. Yes, I am sure Lord Hokage has already explained to you all about the dedication ceremony at the Great Todoroki Shrine that is held every 4 years. Jirocho asked to make sure they are aware of the situation. Yes, but if you would be so kind to explain to us more, we will be most appreciative. Naruto asked. Very well. Please, have a seat, Jirocho said, as the 4 shinobis sit down to make themselves comfortable to hear the explanation. It all started a long time ago. The legend goes, in order to subdue a terrible storm, in desperation the people dedicated the Ryuko's jewels to the Great Todoroki Shrine. And it worked. The storms resided, and it became a customary event that happens every 4 years. At first, it was just to dedicate the jewels. But several decades ago, it became a festival and a race. With the winner of the race being hailed as a great hero. Jirocho explained, but then his tone turned grim. But, in recent years, what was once a friendly race has taken into a troubling aspect. For generations, the poor town of Degarashi has been divided into 2 families, the Wasabi and the Wagarashi. 2 rivaling gambling organizations. Both families wanted control over the town, which naturally led to disputes. These disputes became increasingly violent. Sometimes, resulting in all-out battles. The rest of the town's people were caught in the crossfire. Many were injured, or worse. Jirocho said with a bit of shame in his voice. Finally, in an effort to end the cycle of violence, our district leader called on both sides to get together and come to an agreement. Henceforth, the control of the town will be decided not by street brawls, but competition. Jirocho explained the current situation. What sort of competition exactly? Ino asked. The race run every 4 years at the Great Todoroki Shrine dedication ceremony. 4 years ago, the Wagarashi won easily by hiring shinobi. And we have recently learned that they have hired shinobi again this year. That is why we sent out messengers to the Hidden Leaf Village with a request of aid. But they were ambushed and attacked. Jirocho said with a sad tone. I beg you all. Jirocho suddenly bowed down his head to the 4 shinobi before him. Please lend our family your strength. If we lose again, it means the Wagarashi will have control over this town for another 4 years. And our people will continue to suffer because of it, Jirocho said with desperation in his voice. Leave it to us, Jirocho-san, Naruto said with a bright smile. So, who do you want us to escort anyway? Shikamaru asked. Excellent, so you'll take the job then. Jirocho said with a smile, then clap his hands. The sliding door beside them opened, and reveals the chosen runner for the Wasabi family. Yes, boss, you called for me. The runner was none other than Naruto's latest least liked person, Idate Marino. Team 10 were surprised that the familiar punk that conned and ran from them was the same person that they have to protect. You! Idate yelled out in both fear and anger when he pointed his finger at Naruto. Naruto was in a state of surprise, but then his mouth turned into an evil grin as he remembered his promise to Idate when they parted ways in the forest. Hello Idate. I thought I made myself clear. Now, where's your knife? Naruto said in a sweetly calm tone that failed to hide his killing intent for Idate. Gulp was all Idate could do. Oh, so you all already know each other? Then that makes everything easier. Jirocho said with a smile. That might not be the case. Ino said with a tired sigh, feeling her mission just got a lot harder. The poor town of Degarashi. Naruto and Idate are now walking down the street of Degarashi. Asuma thought it was a good idea to clear the air between the two. He just hopes that Naruto won't end up killing the person that he is assigned to protect. Boss Jirocho is a very important man around here. He shouldn't have to bow his head to wannabe ninjas like you. Idate said with a frustrated tone. It takes a big man to bow his head to another. I have nothing but respect for Jirocho-san. You on the other hand, I'm having trouble and not killing. But I am still a shinobi on duty, and whether I like it or not, I still have to escort your lousy cheapskate ass. Naruto said, a bit of venom in his voice. Fine. Believe me. If I wanted an escort, it'd certainly not be some snot-nosed runt like you. Idate yelled out to the younger blonde boy next to him. For the sake of my mission, I'm going to pretend you did not just call me that. I am still your bodyguard, Idate. So if I were you, I stop giving me reasons to just let you get killed by the enemy. Naruto said, a little bit of anger in his voice. Idate simply scoffed. Sigh, look, I think we got off the wrong foot. Can we please just start over? For Jirocho-san's sake. Naruto said with a calmer tone, hoping that their dispute won't cause them the race tomorrow. Fine. I'll do it for Boss Jirocho. That doesn't mean I'll like you though. Idate said with slightly calmer tone, but was still annoyed. Likewise. Naruto said with happy smirk. Elsewhere, with Ayano and Shikamaru. Ino and Shikamaru decided to check out the town to see its festivities. They are currently in a local trinket shop. As they browse through the shop, they notice that most of the items are surprisingly more expensive than they're worth. Even though it's a tourist resort, these prices are ridiculous. Ino said to her Nara friend. Maybe it's a high market. Shikamaru said with a lazy answer. But their not-so-quite conversation was overheard by the shopkeeper. Sorry about that. Even I know it's quite expensive. The shopkeeper admitted the dramatic overpricing of her items. Oh no, I didn't mean. Ino said, hoping she did not offend the shopkeeper, but the kind lady didn't take any offense. Oh, don't worry, sweetie. We actually don't want to sell at these prices either. But after the Wagarashi family came into power over this town. The lady shopkeeper couldn't finish her sentence, as they all heard a loud crash, and the sound of broken glass happening just outside the store. They went to check it out, and found 3 thugs harassing one of the town's merchants, in the middle of the street. Please, forgive me. The old merchant begged, as he was kneeling on the floor before the 3 thugs. How dare you? When we want something, we take it. Got it? You won't even be in business if it weren't for the Wagarashi. One of the thugs said out loud, now revealed to be one of the members of the Wagarashi family. I know, it's just that, to take it without paying for it, is. The old merchant tried to reason, but it fell on deaf ears. You really don't get it, do you? Boys, go get his stuff while I teach him a lesson. The supposed leader ordered his two fellow thugs to practically rob the merchant. No, please, stop. The old merchant tried to stop them from stealing his hard-earned products, until the leader grabbed him by the collar of his shirt. Maybe this will help you understand, the leader says, as he raises his fist, and tried to punch the old merchant's face. Only to be stopped by Ino, who suddenly appeared and grabs the incoming fist of the leader, holding it firmly. What the? Who are you? The leader demanded, as he saw the platinum blonde girl. Why don't you and your friends take a hike? Ino said with serious tone. My, what do we have here? Quite a pretty little thing, isn't she? One of the other two thugs came back, after he heard the sound of his leader yelling. He had a perverted grin and a hungry look in his eyes, and so did the other one. Yeah, why don't you come with us, Blondie, and we'll show you a good time. The other thug said as he licked his lips, which obviously grossed out the Yamanaka. Well, if you want me, come and take me. After all, you take whatever you want, right? Ino said with disgusted, challenging tone. Please, get her out of there. These people are from the Wagarashi family. They are dangerous, especially to a young girl like her. The lady shopkeeper pleaded to Shikamaru to help his friend. Don't worry, she'll be just fine. It's them who you should be worried about, Shikamaru said, with a confident smirk. You ask for it. Get her, boys. The leader yelled out to his two men. The lady shopkeeper immediately closed her eyes. She just couldn't bear to watch what the three Wagarashi thugs would do to the sweet blonde girl. All she heard was the loud sounds of painful thrashing and bones cracking. When she opened her eyes, she along with the rest of the onlookers, were in shock at the display before them. You won't get away with this. We will get you next time, girlie. Don't mess with us, or you will get what's coming, one of the three bruised up and beaten down Wagarashi thugs yelled out, as he and the other thug picked up their unconscious leader and was about to leave. Didn't like the sound of threats, Ino then cracked her knuckles loud enough for the thugs to hear, causing them to squeal in fear and ran away as fast as they could. Young lady, thank you, whoever you are, the old merchant said, as he gratefully bowed his head to the platinum blonde girl. Just look at those men run. Now if only the Wasabi family can win the race, we will be through with them for good, the lady shopkeeper happily said, as she helped the old merchant. You alright, Ino? Shikamaru asked, with a bit of concern for his friend. Yeah. Don't worry, Shika. Those creeps are not even worth breaking a sweat, Ino said with a confident smile. Jirocho's residence, the guest room. Naruto, Ino and Shikamaru are now facing Asuma in his guest room. Apparently he has something important to tell them. Alright guys, a quick update on the mission. I won't be joining you on the escort tomorrow, Asuma informed. What? Why? Ino asked. Apparently I have been asked by the daimyo of the land of Tea to investigate the Wagarashi family and the minister of Port Degarashi. The daimyo believes that the minster has been questionable biased with the Wagarashi and suspects foul play. Asuma informed them of his new mission. So you think this minister is helping the Wagarashi? Shikamaru asked. Perhaps. That is what I intend to find out, Asuma said, as he lighted up the cigarette in his mouth. So we will escort Idate by ourselves then. Are you sure we're ready, sensei? Naruto asked. Yes. I have complete faith in you three and your abilities, and I trust that you will succeed. Naruto, I am making you the acting captain of Team 10 until my mission is over. And a piece of advice, completing a mission is important, but never jeopardize the safety of your comrades. That includes Idate as well. I hope you were able to work things out with him, Asuma advised his sunny blonde student. Yes, sensei. I will protect them all with my life, Naruto said with a confident smile. And I will protect yours with mine. Ino said, vowing that she will protect her whiskers, no matter what. It's too troublesome to die last. So I'll make sure you guys are safe too. Shikamaru said with cool tone, but deep down he meant every single word. Ha ha ha, you guys never cease to amaze me. Good luck tomorrow. And beware of the enemy shinobi. I suspect them to be from Amigakure, the hidden rain village. They are known for using senbons, which was reported by the messengers who were attacked. Asuma informed his team of the enemy ninja. We will be careful, sensei. I promise. Naruto said with a bright smile. The next day, the harbor of Degarashi. It was time for the grand race. Fireworks were shot up in the sky, and the whole town was cheering loudly for the support of both families, mostly the Wasabi. Wow, I didn't realize this race was going to be this big. The whole town is here. So what kind of race is this anyway? Ino asked her current team captain. You know, the kind that starts and finish. Naruto joked with some innocent sarcasm to his girlfriend. Cheeky, aren't you, Whiskers? Ino said with a pout. Ha ha ha, well, according to Jirocho-san, the starting point is here, at the harbor of Degarashi. From here, the runners will head for the Madaraoki Shrine, which is located on Nagi Island, the midpoint of the race. Naruto informed his teammates as he held up a map to show their headings. I guess we'll be sailing then. Unless Idate has to run on water all the way to the island. Shikamaru said, hoping it wasn't true. Don't worry, Shika. It seems the first leg of the race is to use a boat from here. Once we reach Nagi Island, the runner has to take one of two Ryuko's jewels from the Madaraoki Shrine, and run all the way to dedicate their jewel at the Great Todoroki Shrine. Whoever makes it there first, wins. That's as far as the basic rules go, but other than that, anything goes. Shortcuts, obstructions, and secret maneuvers are all allowed. Naruto informed his team. So hiring a ninja is not a violation of the rules either. Shikamaru said. But where are the ninjas of the Wagarashi family? Ino asked. It seems they are keeping a low profile. But make no mistake, they are around. I can sense stronger chakra signatures here, but there are too many people to pinpoint. Naruto said with narrowed eyes at the crowd of people. I don't care what you guys do. Just don't get in my way. I have a race to win. Idate called out to his young bodyguards. Don't worry, Idate. You just focus on running. We'll be right behind you. Ino said to the Wasabi runner. Besides, it's our job to make sure no one gets in your way. But if we encounter any opposition, you will do what we say. Understood? Naruto said with an authoritative voice. But then he realized he accidentally made a rhyme. Whatever, Idate merely scoffed. Then the announcer spoke through the loudspeaker. Attention! Attention! The Great Todoroki Shrine race is about to begin. Running for the Wasabi family, Idate Marino. Many of the town folk cheered for him. Running for the Wagarashi family, Fukasuke Hikyakuya. Many of the Wagarashi followers cheered for him. Runners, take your mark. As the two runners prepare themselves to run, and the large harbor doors slowly open to reveal their boat still on dock, Idate then notices a gathering of clouds on the horizon, and knew what he had to do. Get set. Go! The two runners began to run at fast speeds, towards their boats. That's our cue too. Let's G what the... Naruto yelled out in shock. Instead of running towards the ships, Idate made a left turn, and ran elsewhere. What is that idiot doing? Ino yelled out, as Team 10 chases after Idate. Idate! Where are you going? The boat is that way. Shikamaru surprisingly yelled out. Guys, let's just follow him, for now. He might know what he's doing. Naruto calmly informed his team. Are you sure? Ino asked her blonde captain. Idate may be a prick, but he's completely loyal to Jirocho-san. he won't do anything to let him down. For now, we just follow him, and make sure he's safe. I just hope my hunch is right. Naruto said with hope in his voice. I hope so too, Naruto-kun. Because this is our first C-rank mission. And I'll kill Idate if we fail. Ino said with slightly angry tone. Don't worry, if we do, I'll help you. Naruto said with a soft smile to his girlfriend. The Genin trio then continued to follow the Wasabi family runner, hoping that he is still actually competing, instead of fleeing. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed this what if and want to see next part of it, comment down below and let me know. Also share this video with your friends. See you in the next video. Peace.